All right, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to JRC Stock Talk. Today we have a live stream Q&A with BRGC. It's a really exciting event as this company is a producing lithium mine. We've got a lot of information and we're going to be talking with James and Mac, executives of the company. Now, if you would, before we start, please go and share this event, retweet it, go out there and share it to your friends, email, whatever it takes. Let's get people on here. They want to hear what they have to say. And first and foremost, I want to let everyone know we're not licensed investment advisors, so please know what you own, do your own due diligence, and if you have any questions about how to properly due diligence, please ask me, ask Cheeto, ask OTC Method or Patrick McKay, and we'll be happy to answer any questions and steer you in the right direction to get any information you need about the stocks you're looking at. Today, we're focusing on BRGC, and we're going to get right into it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you would introduce yourselves to the people on the show, that would be great.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm Mac Shazavar. I'm President, CEO, and the Chairman of the BrightRock Gold, symbol BRGC.
Hi, I'm James Ingraffia. I'm the exploration geologist on this project, and I'm proud to be here.
Excellent. All right, guys, I have the first question for you. Now, just to tell everybody a little bit about BrightRock Gold, it's a lithium exploration company focused on developing its flagship product, Revival of Midnight Owl Mine, previously known as historical records as the Lithium King Mine, located about 60 miles east of Phoenix, Arizona, strategically located within 170 miles of $3 billion gigafactories under current construction with emphasis on LG $5.5 billion factory. That is what we'll be speaking about today. Now, if you could, what makes this location so promising, guys?
Well, we're within 15 minutes of Phoenix, which makes it what we call one of the best locations. We have good highway access, to the project. Even off highway, we have secondary roads. So our what we call preparation for a mine in this site will be kind of very cost effective. It won't be like being in the middle of what we call some bush or country that you build $20-30 million of what we call roadways and so on to it. So it's quite accessible. If we at the end, when we end up what we call doing a mine there, it would not take very big money what we call to build that mine, and the aspect of road and access and so on. So
Could you elaborate just a little bit on the potential expenses that a company would incur if they don't have proper connection via roads and everything, so they can really appreciate what you're saying?
well, again, if a lot of lithium mines are in remote areas, some you have to access it actually with helicopter and so on, even in the preliminary what we call stage of exploration. So we've been quite fortunate. Our land change, like the height change between the hills, are about 300 to 400 feet. But we're not too far from Wickenburg, which is about 45 minutes what we call from Phoenix, and then about 15 minutes to our mine site, and then we own about 4,400 what we call acres. It's a BLM what we call land. It's a decent sized land, so it gives us a pretty, and it's a known area. This area, the interesting thing about this area was that when the U.S. government wanted lithium, this is the area they came to pick it up. So the area that we own is a well-known lithium, what we call area, and James can back me up on that one. So maybe you can give some we call geology, we call description of the land.
Certainly, we're in the White Picacho mining district. We're located in Yavapai County. Um, yeah, as a crow flies, we're approximately 30 miles northwest of Phoenix and 10 miles east of the nearest town of Wickenburg. Yeah, so our project is strategically located within a known lithium producing area of the state. No, so this area is also known for commercial elements in addition to lithium, beryllium, feldspar, micro-construction purposes. Yeah, definitely a great area to be looking at. Really fortunate.
James, your sound is not coming very clear. So
Oh, it must be the connection here. I'll speak up. Is that better?
okay, so repeat maybe the
Much
last
better.
portion that you mentioned. So
Oh, of course, of course. So we're located in the White Picacho mining district. This is in western Arizona, in Yavapai County. We're really excited because as the crow flies, we're 30 miles northwest of Phoenix and 10 miles east of the nearest town, Wickenburg. So this has been a historical producer, especially through the 40s and 50s. And then now we've gone back and we've put new eyes on old mines, and we've seen the lithium potential in the area, as well as other elements of interest such as beryllium and feldspar and micas, which can also be used double for construction purposes. So we're very excited and very fortunate to be at this land package.
Excellent.
It's fortunate that we have actually initially when I looked at this mine, the part that got me interested was gold. It's going back 2017. We had some high readings at the adit that was just quite a big numbers anyhow. So initially when I looked at it, then I realized, with the help of people from Red Bull Mining, that this area was also very strong in lithium. But at the first, as James said, this is kind of an area that's very well known for gold and silver and primarily gold, I believe, right, James? So,
That's correct. This is a known area for gold mineralization, epithermal style, with a lot of historical shafts and adits, and we're fortunate enough to have both. We have a hillside and some dayside immediately adjacent to the quartz site with a nice quartz vein running through at the surface that has actually been tunneled underground. We presume, now let's take this with a grain of salt, that they found the quartz vein at the surface and tunneled in underneath to then stope it out. They stopped for whatever reason, and we've gone back to reinvestigate that.
yeah, but the interesting part is that we're finding some serious amount of lithium. Okay, so last year, about March, we decided to almost pioneer something within the geology, and that was the hyperspectral. This was the very first what we call project that it was what we call the hyperspectral was processed, and the technology found an enormous amount of what we call surface spodumene, indicating that we had a very rich potential what we call for spodumene lithium. So again, maybe James can mention what we call he was recently did a phase 1A of the project, and he discovered a 200 feet wide what we call lithium pegmatite running for half a mile or longer. So maybe James, you can touch on that too. So
And Mac,
Yeah.
before he does, if you could adjust your camera so you're in the center of the picture you see on in the Restream studio, that would be great. Mac, did you hear me?
go ahead.
Yeah, just adjust your camera so that your face is in the center of the.
Is it better?
Or
Better
you
now?
can see in the studio if you're in the. There you go. That's
Okay,
great.
then. Thank you. So
No problem. Go ahead.
somehow my face is in the side of the screen there, so that's why. So the way all three of us, I can see, my half of my face is covered, by the camera somehow in your screen here. So I'll move a bit sideways so you can see me better. So go ahead.
That's perfect.
Better now?
Yep.
Okay, great. So
Oh, all right. So we saw these hyperspectral readings indicating massive amounts of spodumene in the area. So we decided to go and do a field survey to go and check it out. In so doing, we found a quartz-rich pegmatite with large tourmaline megacrysts, that size of a golf ball, in an area that's 200 feet thick by half a mile long. We still haven't determined how deep it goes. We know at least 100 feet. So we're pretty confident that as our continued exploration efforts will yield significant lithium findings.
Now, just to recap for everybody listening, they're going after lithium, gold, silver, copper, beryllium, and lead. So there's a lot of different minerals that they can monetize as they mine in this area, that's really exciting for a company that's in mining.
Well, in order to make a mine profitable, you need more than one product. So I think we're rich in this area with some good chunk of gold and some other what you call products that should make this mine what you call very profitable going forward. So,
What you were saying is they're 200 feet thick pegmatite.
We
So
have a
what type?
pegmatite. Yeah, pegmatite that's 200 feet thick by a half mile long. And that's only the area that we've mapped. So our continued exploration efforts are further pursuing that. And we have a good lead on exactly where it's going to go. It runs on a pretty much due northeast southwest trend through the core of the property. So we're very fortunate to be in this area of the White Picacho mining district in western Arizona.
What technologies and methods are you using for exploration?
Glad you asked that question. Well, first of all, we like to always explore with new technologies, as Mac touched on, with hyperspectral. We think it's really important to include emerging technologies in our approach. We also have a very boots on the ground presence. We have a fellow associated with us with Red Barrel Mining, who is an excellent field guy, excellent boots on the ground. You get in with a Jeep and hike through it all. I have a strong belief in doing a hands-on approach. I like to get my hands onto the pegmatite. I like to go and take the samples, and we'll typically use like a tablet for mapping purposes, and we're not going to go with like a topo map and pencil. Some people would say that's a much cleaner, much more dialed-in way to do it. Some people like analog, some people like digital, but I still think it's very important that we get out into the field to therefore see with our own eyes if it's there and how we can better explore for these minerals of interest and bring value to our shareholders.
well,
Excellent.
following up James, comment, we also, if our investors, our shareholders, what you call, off the gate, we hired Stantec, and they're the biggest engineering company in the world, the biggest geologist company in the world, and they were the ones that were spearheading our work last year, and they will be going in the future too. So there's a lot of expertise that I've brought to the company to help us out to get this project to the end. So
It takes an amazing group of people to do an amazing job. So I'm glad you guys have the right people in place for that. What milestones are expected in the next 6 to 12 months?
now, first thing we're gonna do is probably like what happened. James and the crew were out a couple of weeks ago on checking to see what type of gold or other minerals we have there. As they were doing, and the result on that should be what we call announced in the next 2-3 months, subject to the lab test. But interestingly enough, as we were out at the site, our head of the what we call exploration, Steven Cyrus, he spotted another major pegmatite, what we call, not too far from the adit. So I don't know if we have published that or not, but we may publish and put a news out on that new find. We were gonna check it, but unfortunately, Steve's truck ended up going in the ditch at the time, so we had to abandon the idea and do it next time around that we're at the site. But looked like this land seemed to be a very interesting land. It's got so many surprises, and as I said, we find 200 feet wide pegmatite. Look like we got another major one running not too far from the adit. So as we do the major mapping, which may include the overall mapping of the whole land. I think my own personal feeling as an engineer would be that we'll be quite nicely surprised on what we have in that land there. So, but James can also elaborate on what he feels that that this land may hold. So,
all right. As our field crew came back, they brought samples back, and we are currently processing them in the lab. So we're letting those samples cook to get the chemistry back. We're very excited about that. We've also put together a grid. We're actually going to do 4, maybe 5 lines going across the property, east-west. We're thinking about this. Not to get into any more numbers, we have to keep our competitive edge, right? But yeah, so we're thinking about a good field sampling survey. That'll be very telling. Additional mapping, which will illuminate exactly where this pegmatite and these other pegmatite potential veins are running through the property, thus we can inspect them further. We're also very excited that we believe we might have refound a beryllium mine that was producing in the 50s on our property. So we're very excited about that because as beryllium is an industrial mineral and it can be combined with copper for aviation uses. So we're very pleased and we're very excited to get back out there and to continue our field efforts and uncover these buried treasures and for the portfolio of the company.
So, just for our guests listening, there's two sides to a public company. There is the business, and then there's the public vehicle itself. So, again, the question was, what milestones are expected in the next 6 to 12 months? So, Mac, I'm going to address that to
so
you from a public company standpoint. Is there any expectations over the next 6 to 12 months with the stock itself?
well, the stock itself, we're in the process. We already have done 2 years of audit in the corporation, so they were published recently, and we will be finishing this last 2023 audit. So that should make us eligible to go to a reporting status and higher exchange. That's the purpose. And then also we are looking at changing our symbol. We ran into a bit of a problem with FINRA. We had a deficiency from 2000 to 2006 when the old public company was not active. They didn't file the report, so we'll be filing those also along with the 2023. So that would help us out with FINRA and changing our name formally to North America Lithium Corporation. So I know that our investors are waiting for that. So other thing that we did in the past 12, 14 months was personally, I had some free trading shares at one of the brokerage houses. I took those out. So we had a reduction of our DTC of about 4 million shares there. And then I also have bought almost 900,000 shares in the public market. So having done that, our float is very clean. We don't have very much overhang based on my assessment. And if you watch our stock, you can see that very, very small amount of shares, the price fluctuates up or down. So that normally a very good indication that we don't have a very major overhang in the market. And if his stock is going to be shorted, I wish the people luck in that aspect because there isn't very much stock coming out to the market. So other thing is we're going to look at even further reducing the number of shares of the company by cancellation. We're not contemplating any type of reverse, but some share cancellation from the past that we're working on right now. And they'll be announced.
Possibly doing a buyback as well, or?
Yeah, and buyback too, yeah. So that's ongoing. The buyback portion is ongoing. So as the things develop, if we have any type of anxious, investors that wants to sell and get out, we'll buy them back. So in a sense, what I'm trying to say is that we're into this. I'm spending my own money on this. We haven't gone out and raised any money from anyone or done anything to add cash from anybody else. So it's all coming from me and my family. So we're committed to this, and we're going to see this to get to the end. So hopefully most of our investors will be there at the end, but if they're not, then I'm sure they'll benefit from what we'll do in the next few months or next couple of years or something like that. The only impediment right now has been the price of the lithium. I think it's tapered down deep enough, and I'm expecting it's going to go back up. So that should also help out the stock going forward.
I have to commend you. I mean, a lot of OTC smaller companies, they go and get funding from so many other people. It puts too many hands in the pot and it extends the authorized and outstanding. It makes it more challenging for a stock to be able to respond appropriately. But if you're doing this all with your money, that puts you in a great position to not only control the share structure, but to provide the value to shareholders that they're looking for when looking at an investment. So again, I commend you for that. That's really an awesome thing to do.
Well, I'm fortunate, I own some other assets, some car dealerships and so on and so on, that it looks after my day-to-day or needs of that type. So I don't have to worry about making money on the stock market too. And I see this project to be a very serious, very big project. As an engineer, I see it too. So it is a big value to it. I know I'm committed. I know people from Red Bull are committed. I know Alex and Stephen and Rick and even James, all of us here. What we've been on the ground there, and we see the asset there. We see the the extent of the lithium and so on and so on. And this is a very rich area, very rich area. Historically, as I said, it was gold area. Now we've been fortunate it was lithium too. So we shall see. Next 12 months should be quite exciting for all of us because mapping, then hopefully after the mapping we'll do the drilling. That should give us some serious numbers to the final phase of the exploration on doing the MRE, the mineral reserve estimates. And that actually, when we monetize, all of us as shareholders, that's when we monetize on what really we have as an asset in hand. Our stock value right now does not represent what I see in the field. So as we develop this, we'll see how that number, appreciates. So I'm personally expecting to be a nice surprise. I'm not investing my money, to lose it this way. So, but as James said, we have excellent people like himself and Steve Siders and Alex and so on. They've been tremendous help. So we have a very deep team with many years of experience, either in management, myself, and I've spent about 11 years in mining and forestry side of the equation as an engineer. So we've had some firsthand, and then people like Rick and Alex who have had their chunk of experience in mining side in the last few years, and Stephen with 25, 30 years of field experience. So add that to Stantix and some of the other people that we've hired or we're hiring. It's a good team. It's a tremendous team.
It's hard to find a good team like that. It really is, but
yeah, you don't see this type of team in OTC, type of companies, not pink sheet companies anymore. So, and that's why we're moving to the higher reporting cost by the end of this year.
That brings us to the next question that an investor that is in the mining or in the mining niche of companies is going to ask, and lots of things can come up when you're going through drilling and exploration. So the question I have for you is, are there any foreseeable challenges in obtaining permits? What are the potential environmental impacts of the project, and what steps are being taken to mitigate these impacts?
I don't see major problems. We had a southern neighbor that did some drilling recently for last 2 years, and they had no issues. And I don't see too many cactuses. Yes, I know that we have to move those and preserve them. So, but on the other fronts, I do not see major issues. But I mean, James can collaborate on that too. So, but personally, I don't see
So cacti are the biggest problem we have facing right now. That's not bad.
Well,
yeah,
it's not just a bunch of cactus, right? It's a bunch of saguaro, right? It's more or less very iconic of the landscape that's unique to Arizona. So I can see how people would be very concerned about them. And of course, we all have a certain reverence for the earth, so we'll definitely take good care of these cacti and put them exactly where they need to be. It'd be a good chance to engage in some of the ecology and appreciate it from a ground perspective and everything.
They're beautiful too, by the way. I mean,
Yep.
there's some massive sized cactus up there that I can see why we have to preserve them. So, and I appreciate that. So, but on the other issues, I think we should have. I don't see any major problem on the getting permits to drill, but and the factory or the mine itself, it's a different issue that has to be assessed after, by PEs and all that stuff. So, pre-feasibility studies and so on.
There's that
I'm
noise.
sorry, just a second. Is there some sort of feedback going through my microphone? Am I hearing something? Yeah, I apologize. They're doing the landscaping right now. They need to get a better scheduling going. This is business hours. This is a business environment. Why are they taking care of this?
So when you're not speaking, if you could mute yourself, that'll cut that out.
No,
Could you guys explain a little bit further on the process of having to relocate the cacti? I think that's really, I mean, it couldn't be a better platform to stand on. You're being sustainable. You're worried about the environment, and you're doing your part to help keep it in this pristine state.
well, on my side, if you look at my resume, I'm chairman of a company called InnoCorp's Research. And InnoCorp's, we were the first one last year. My son is the main inventor, but he is board member of the BrightRock, Arya Shazawar. And we invented a machine that is cleaning the sewer water to drinking water. And we have a technology in-house that potentially we may end up using as we do the mining to clean up the soil water that comes out of the mines. So that's a possibility down the road. So we're environmentally very conscious. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we'll end up doing things that it should not harm any of the environment there. So personally, I believe that that we're doing enough damage by now. People may not agree with me, but as I said, it's a rare thing from an engineer to come. But I believe that we can do more to help the environment. So that'll be a focus of the company also going forward. So it'll be a high focus on ESG.
That's awesome. Now, what's the state of? Now, you mentioned there's a lot of roads, and you're close to two areas where you're able to extract in the minerals and get things to the right location quickly. What's the infrastructure look like of those roads, power, and water in the project area?
Very good. I mean, as James said, we're 10 miles from Wickenburg. So there's existing infrastructures there that we can draw from. So there's existing roads. We have to improve them to make it what we call load bearing for trucks and so on and so on. But again, we're not looking at 20, 30, 40 million bucks of what we call cost to create that. Maybe less than $1 million or somewhere around that number should put us in a situation that we can start contemplating building what we call the mine. And then after that, whatever asphalting and so on that has to be done. But regular road, they're there. We just have to cut from there to the sites that we're going to explore mining. And that's not very far, maybe quarter mile, maybe half a mile the most.
So to put this in perspective, spending because investors here, you're going to need to spend $1 million on roads. They need the picture of if you have a 200-foot, half a mile thick vein, what potentially, and I'm not locking you into numbers, but just give them a rough idea of what potentially that means in revenue and why you would spend $1 million fixing up a road for a half a mile to get it.
Remember, that's only one that we found so far. I mentioned the second one that Steven spotted, and I'm going to get the second one we put to the news to our investors so they can see it. This one appears to be wrong longer. So this land does have not just one or two, but quite a number. One area we did some XRF testing, and we had even some high percentage. So depending on the percentage of the what you call spodumene or the lithium in that land, you can calculate half a mile by 200 feet wide, and if it goes down even 100 feet, which we believe is more than that, just that one could add up to a decent size what they call reserve. So, but there's many more locations that we haven't explored yet, and that's what James was talking about, doing a second phase B and a couple more, and then doing the overall mapping that we intend to do. And that'll give us a lot better picture, followed by the drilling to give us how deep these are going and what percentage of what we call density they have.
So potentially you spend $1 million for many millions in return on the value of minerals that are in those deposits.
It could be substantial, but again, we are not here to excite people with big numbers and so on and so on. Subject to what I call doing the further investigation, we'll announce those numbers. Okay, so but right now, like we did 43101 for another company, I would call mine that I'm involved in, and the geologist there that was writing 43101, he said the results are the initial view is very promising, but we still have to do further investigation to get the numbers. But based on what I see, based on what we are seeing as a company, the potential is quite good.
That's exciting. Now, how accessible is the site for exploration and future mining operations?
How accessible, you said? As I said, the roads that we have there, basically it's like a ring. It's like a circular roads wrapping around our land. So you basically have to cut what we call lines, into the areas that are heavy on lithium or heavy on gold or heavy on silver. So it's not very long what we call roads that you get built to get. And elevations again are in some area are steep, but mostly between 300 to 400 feet what we call change on the elevation. So they're quite manageable. So we're not dealing like Nevada that you got 2,000, 3,000 feet, change between one side of the mine to the other side. So, and if I'm answering your question,
I believe so. How do you plan to move from exploration to development and production?
Well, once we have the mineral reserve estimate, say we get 1 million ton or 5 million ton or 10 million, higher the number, the better our chance of financing this mine is going to be. I also see the real fact that the market in the last 12 months has changed, and you have to have big numbers what we call to be deemed as a potentially viable project. So I believe that we're very fortunate. I believe that this land has got that potential to be one of the big what we call lithium mines in the world, based on what I've seen so far. Again, subject to further investigation, further drilling. So once we have that MRE number, that actually makes the job easier, because now you have basically an estimate of what your land and your lithium is worth type of deal. As I said, higher the number, the better. So we think that's a big number, but we'll know within the next 12 to 18 months what that number is.
That means investors and traders really want to pay attention to information that's coming out over the next 6 to 12 months on what those numbers are going to look like.
I think the patient investor, if they're in it right now, they should ride it with us. If they don't, only the numbers and the time will prove what I'm saying here. But the land looks very promising. As I said, this land seems to give us many, many nice surprises. So we'll see what happens as we do the overall mapping and the start drilling whatever numbers, and we end up getting what we call for it. So,
James, did you have anything to add on how the company is going to move from exploration to development and then production?
I think Mac summed it up very well. That once we complete exploration efforts and we have a substantial MRE, that will really help in springboarding the company forward and bringing in the right team of people to handle our efforts towards production.
What's the current financial position and how much cash do you have on hand?
Well, we haven't needed to go to the market to raise money, so I won't tell you how much I'm worth, but I'm able to finance it. So, and I've been doing it for over 2 years, so 2.5 years. So we're moving forward. I mean, we haven't done any type of private placement or anything like that. So it's the time of the year to renew the licenses, for the land. So we're paying those also. So it's a substantial amount of money. So we've been committed to the project, as I said, and I'm paying for it. So, and we'll
Gotta get
just keep
stuff
doing
done.
till we get the what you call numbers. Then after that, the value of the project will be known, and I believe that personally, I believe that it's going to be substantial. So we'll see where we end up now at that time. So
All right. And don't forget to when you look at the screen, if you can put your face towards the center of the box that you're in, it'll help. Um, Next question we have is to know more about the financial position. We understand. What are the main sources of funding, and how do you plan to finance ongoing fleet? I feel like you answered that. Like, I don't need funding. I've got this. I'm going to pay it, and we're
but right now, we don't need any major funding. We'll probably end up, looking at some once we become reporting, and we have the what we call the mapping done, and we've started drilling. We may look at it at that time, but I am not personally keen of what we call doing discounting, what we call to the market and so on and so on, because it gives you an overhang that it's not good for our existing shareholders.
yep.
So because of that, what we call we'll be very careful on who we kind of sleep with, if we do sleep with. So so the bottom line, be very careful selection of anybody if we do end up raising any type of money. I don't want any type of shorting and so on the market. Okay,
And
so
that's huge because we've been seeing that happen across the market.
oh
There
yeah,
are
yeah,
many
yeah.
companies that are doing great. I mean, I work for another NASDAQ company that's going through this problem, and they've got very little funding, but still it's been a headache
There's an
because too many other people try to put their hands in the pot. So, again, very strong position for an investor or trader here that you're going to keep this tight. You're not extending the authorized. You don't have a bunch of convertible debt. There's plenty of funding to source what you're doing. You're getting your audits done. You're upgrading infrastructure to be able to handle your transition from exploration into drilling and you're in a great place, really, from what I'm
yeah,
hearing right now.
we are, and I want to repeat that I'm not a very fond of convertible debentures and so on and so on. I think there's too many rats in the pile type of deal when it comes to
Yep,
convertible debentures, and we all know they sell your own stock and give you the money before. So it's not a type of what we call funding and so on that we're interested. Not that we're looking for money right now, but at the same time, as we become more we call a bigger public company on the aspect of reporting and so on and so on, and we get to a stage that we need to raise money, what we call to do the actual mining and the plant and so on, we will be coming to the market for that. But that will be a very substantial amount of money. But at that time, we'll know what the property and the reserves and so on are, and you'll have a number in your hand what we call, to have a major underwriting that type of deal. So
excellent. Are you guys partnering with any other companies or institutions for the exploration phase?
well, Stantec was the primary one. We're going to keep working with them. We have a good relationship, with Stantec. Very good people, very professional. Very, I mean, they're the, as I said, biggest, engineering company. So we're looking at potentially even with the what do you call mapping side that they would assist us. So the only partner that we have in the shareholding side is Red Bull right now, and we haven't made any other partnership with anybody else. If it does come, it'll be at the end of the MRE. It'll be for building the plant, or if maybe what do you call battery factory, what you call, wants to partner up, with us, to get our supplies or something like that, then we'll be exploring those type of what you call partnership. So
I have a NASDAQ company I can introduce you to for that.
I miss that.
So I have a NASDAQ company I'm connected to I can introduce you that might be interested in getting your supply of lithium.
Yeah, they gotta be. As I said, I'm not very keen on making or get into partnership with people that cause trouble for the company. As you said, if I tell you guys that on a given base in our email, I get maybe 5 or 6 what they call solicitation for people wanting to give me money and so on and so on, and I've ignored them, from day number one. Okay, so I mean, as the project becomes more and more prominent, you get more and more people want to help you out. But I guess I've got the experience to know that it's not the right type of what we call major partnerships. So it will be in the aspect of the mining at the end, with potentially what we call the right type of candidate that can what we call use our product. That would be the type of partnership that I would say would be suitable for us and for all the shareholders. So if that comes earlier and it's a good after we announce some numbers and somebody's interested, and you had GM what you call put money into Tacker Pass and so on and so on. If that's the type of partnership that I'm looking at, because I think we do have. I'm repeating again, we do have the type of reserves, I believe, again subject to proving, that should interest, and we should end up at the end of all this work. I think we should end up with one of the most promising, I guess, reserves in USA.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
and realize that this is right in heart of USA. As our write-ups say, we're within 18 hours of Elon Musk's what they call factory in Texas, and there's 2 other what they call battery factories not too far from us. 3 hours from Phoenix. So we're well located, and if the freight is a factor too, we're in much better position than even Tacker Pass. So to these batteries, battery factories not too far from us. So, but partnership, those are the type of partnerships that would interest us. Subject
Excellent.
has proven that. I mean, nobody knows what we have for reserves. So hopefully next year by this time, we'll have some firm numbers, or
Fair enough.
earlier. So hopefully. So
Now, last question. How, we've already found out how the company is positioned, how the share structure is sitting. We found out about the financing. We found out about the infrastructure of roads and the accessibility of the mines and what you're doing over the next 6 to 12 months for that investors can look to expect. Last question I have is how do you plan to create value for the shareholders outside of what you've told us?
I think by work that we're doing, that is creating the shareholder value. I mean, if let's just take what I call an example. Let's say we end up with 5 million tons of what we call lithium, spodumene. Okay, let's say the market value is $20,000. You take 5 million, 20,000, that's $10 billion. Okay, take that, divide that to the number of shares issued and outstanding. It won't be what we call 10 or 15 cents in stock. Guarantee you that. Okay, so I mean, simple mathematics, should dictate to our shareholders where we're going with this. Even if you discount what we call your reserves by 80%, still your share value is going to be way up there as you start proving the numbers of the tonnage, what we call, in that land, right? So it's a very simple calculation to know that. So our present value doesn't. That's why our stock went up to 60, 70 cents. I think at the end of the tunnel, basically, after we finish and get the right number of reserve numbers from the investigations, we should be able to have a very, very, very decent sized price for the call in this stock. So
So I would say, and I'm not a licensed investment advisor, but I would say that now's a good timing because you've got between now and the next 12 months to begin to establish a position if you talk to a financial planner or investment advisor, and BRGC is one that you're looking at. You've got time to establish a position prior to those numbers coming out. And if, which there's a good expectation, they're as good as you think they are, this stock is going to see some real excitement over the next 12 months, and that's definitely worth waiting for.
Well, I can say that as a CEO, I can tell people buy or sell stock, but I know
Nope.
that we have a great potential with this company. So as I said, keep following us and keep watching what we're doing. So I mean, we're committed. We're not gonna stay half finished with this project. We're going all the way to get numbers. And that MRE number, and that's why I hired Stantec and so on, because I figured being an OTC company, by myself being a professional engineer too, I wanted to see some credible numbers coming out to the people so they can see that this is a real project. My hat off to Alex and the crew there for bringing this project to us from Red Pro, Steven Cyrus and so on. So they've been tremendous help. James, himself, he's got tremendous amount of knowledge. He was an excellent addition to our team. And having Stantec and the rest of the crew has actually made this thing even more fun. Doing the hyperspectral, we rewrote the whole technology for identifying spodumene on land. Our land, basically, based on what the experts told me from the hyperspectral, this land, quote unquote, it lit up. It has that much what we call surface spodumene. So, I mean, that's not coming from me. That's coming from SpecTIR and Linton, who is one of the top 3 experts in the hyperspectral and so on and so on. So it's exciting time, look out for the company. And we'll see what the next 12 months brings. So,
and at the end of those 12 months, I want you to come back on and share with people about the numbers and everything that's transpired. I definitely am going to be on pins and needles until that point.
Well, I appreciate this. I know that my glasses are sliding down on my nose. I apologize for that to the audience, but I need them to see you better, so to see the screen better. So, but again, we're sitting on something quite major, I believe. I mean, people don't need. We're not doing any type of promotion, here, and we're talking about something that's quite real. So, as the numbers, develop on their own, you'll be announcing them. I don't believe in promoting something. I think the facts and the numbers should speak for themselves.
That's right.
So as we do this and we move forward, hopefully what we call the numbers and so on, will back up what we strongly believe that it's going to be a pretty major project, what we call in, as I said, Heartland USA, basically. So,
Excellent.
okay, so
Matt, it's been a pleasure.
you can ask any type of questions. Again, I invite people not to send me what do you call requests for raising money and so on. You're not interested. So,
Loud and clear. We
I
need
get
you,
about
sir.
6 to 8 a day. What do you call from different what do you call people that they've got lots of money for us and no interest. So.
Well, we have 2 people that are requesting to ask questions. If you have a moment.
Go ahead. Of course.
Okay, let me bring up Dr. Chimps. Interesting name. Dr. Chimps, you are up. Oh, they're gone.
Oh, was I jailed?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
No, not at all. I'll give you a bit of a background on the worldwide golf. I own a golf course in Manitoba too, in Canada. So we bought actually, we're going to buy this company. And we did the audit on it, and the company wasn't real. So we backed out of the deal. And they went to a receivership. So receiver, what they call, sued me at my company, National Healthcare, and me and my board of directors, just to see if we can collect some money. So we ended up buying his share position in the company for $25,000, and that was done because it was cheaper to do it that way than go through a 2 year of what called litigation on a case that had no merit. So So I've never been jailed. In if you are running any type of public companies, I am a Canadian also. If in Canada, if you're running a public company, you go to an RCMP, the police check for what you call criminal background and so on and so on. You can't just simply run public corporations. So as a professional engineer too, you can have any type of criminal background. So that's the answer to Terrell Kang, I guess. So any other question or
Dr. Chimps, are you in?
are we listening to somebody else?
So if you didn't hear him, what he's asking is, after the numbers come in and everything looks good, would you be in a position to want to sell the mine, or would you want to go then into production and extract yourself?
Any of the business that I'm involved in, I don't look at somebody else buying us. If that happens, wonderful. But if that doesn't, we'll be going right to the production. I mean, a lot of public companies, they start what they call something with the hope that they're going to produce something and end up somebody else, third party, coming and buying them. So I see that Terrell Kang is what called talking about Silicon investor and so on and so on. I mean, I would give as much credibility to the comments on Silicon investor. You can have a short guy who's shorting your stock, dumping a bunch of nonsense there. So I believe I've answered them on this question there. So in the aspect of criminal records and so on and so on. So and the answer to these questions are no, basically. I'm reading the questions on the side there.
Excellent. Is there anybody else that has a question about the mining operation that would like to raise their hand? Yeah, I believe Terrell has one more question for you. Terrell, go ahead. Yes. Yes, we can. Yeah, I can hear you in the background because you have your the speaker on. You're hearing yourself in a delay in the background. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. I believe she was breaking up, but she was asking about you being involved with previous healthcare company and the challenges that were presented when you were involved with that company.
What about it?
She was asking. She said she was surprised to see you involved in this mining company after previously being involved in the healthcare company
Well,
where there were some challenges.
what were those challenges?
I know she was breaking up.
The what do you call medical company is called Jamshidi Needles. That's a family business. So national healthcare is part of that. So I'm not too sure. So she can send me a questionnaire, what do you call, and to my email if she needs to the company. So
And for everybody watching, below on the screen, you'll see that the BrightRock_Corp Twitter handle is there. Please follow them. Please keep up to date with all the information that's being published by the company. And if you do have need of getting in touch with Mac, I believe through OTC Markets, you can access their website, and there should be a way to get in touch with him through there. Is is that correct, Mac?
Yeah, they can contact me any type of question. And I mean, if somebody's trying to create what you call the situation to short the stock, I probably won't answer them. But legitimate question, I will answer it. So
Fair enough. Well, without further ado, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much. Look, everybody listening, if you would please share this podcast because we want the information about BRGC to be out there for investors and traders to do their own due diligence, to hear the most important information being put out by the company concerning what they're doing over the next 6 to 12 months with exploration and what they can expect as far as the process the company is taking to get into position for extraction ultimately. And we'll keep abreast of that and share all the information as it becomes publicly available. I think we're going to have some exciting news over the next 12 months, and I look forward to following up with you then, Matt. And without, I guess if there's nothing else, then I'll move on to the next segment of the podcast and do an open mic with Shido and OTC Method. So, Mac, thank you so much for
thank
joining
you
us
so
today.
much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Bye for now.
Have a blessed day. All right, guys, we're going to get into the next segment of our show, and we're going to get in Shido and Kiko Stocks in here for a open mic session on OTC stocks and the most recent news, the movers, the shakers in the industry, and stocks that may be having get hit substantially. But we're going to bring that to you and talk about the due diligence surrounding them right now in this next segment. So hold on, please. All right, let's go. Hey guys, we're back, and Shido and Pat will be in just a second, making sure they had a link to join us on Restream. We're going to be having an open mic, so if you guys have questions, want to talk about individual stocks, by all means, let's get down and dirty with it. Shido, where you at? There we go. We got one in. Pat, what
There
is
we
going
go.
on, my man?
Is that a different link? I guess I was sitting there like, but thankfully you sent me this one, so that's perfect.
So where's Shido?
I think,
He's on a different link too.
yeah, the one that got emailed is a different one. There you go. There he is.
We are in, and it is on and popping. Thanks for joining OTC Stock Talk. This is brought to you by J Ramsell Consulting, and it wouldn't be the same without OTC Method and Shido here to go over some of the exciting OTC stuff. I mean, there's been some stocks that have been just plain hammered, and then there's some other stocks that we definitely want to talk about, and that's what we're here for. So for all of us that are still with us on Spaces, by all means, make sure you join the conversation. Raise your hand, we'll bring you up, and we'll get this going. I see some, just to give a few shout outs, we got Stock Picks NYC up in the house. And wow, where did everybody go on spaces? Interesting. Fair enough. So if you want to get, if you're looking on live stream, there's also a Twitter space running at the same time, or an X space, and that's where you'd want to go to raise your hand and join the conversation, or you can leave a comment in the chat section of the live stream, and either way, we'll be right here to get it. Ironic one said, "Would you consider adopting someone?" I'm not sure why, but yes, yes.
There we go. I can see the comments now. Yeah.
So who's wanting to be adopted? Why? Yeah, state your case. So how's Seat going, Pat? Tell us. Give us a little update.
It's going. It was a great run. It had a really good move, and I'm still in it. I'm still interested in it, but it's just the trouble you have is when they're starting 10,000 new tokens a day. Keeping
Wow.
people interested in something is really hard. You know what I mean? And I think I didn't really realize, like, because we took it from I think a $20,000 market cap to a $7 million market cap, and to me, I just kept thinking it'll just keep going, and the dips will get bought up and whatever. And turns out, the probability of that happening to a token is like 0.003%. It's unbelievable. I didn't
Not
know.
very high.
Not very high. I didn't know. And so as time goes by, it just gets needled to death because they say, hey, I want to, they're making 10,000 a day. Here's an exciting new thing I want to try. Here's an exciting new thing I try. And slowly but surely, you just get loaded with resistance. You know what I mean? And I was, and this is to anyone who's looking to start one. I mean, and I was the entire time just spending and spending and spending, like with ads and trying to get partnerships and all these different things to try and save it. But meanwhile, I didn't really realize that these people are the second it goes down one tick, they just run to the next thing. You know what I mean? And like even with this monkeypox business that's going on, I mean they must have made I don't know 500 monkeypox tokens today, already on the day. You know what I mean? And so I guess I didn't fully know how good we had it on seed. And a lot of people are saying, well, what's the plan next? I mean,
You
it's
have to
it's
create a new token every week, and at the end of the week, after it's had its run, you close out. You start a new one on Monday.
that's pretty much what people do. Honestly, that's pretty much what people do, if not in the same day. You know what I mean? And I was playing basketball, and crypto holders were playing a completely different sport. And so I still care for it very much, and still maintain a position, and would like to find a way to turn it around. But you're just fighting a wave of trends, and every day it's a new trend, and it's going to be a hard road back. But obviously, like I said, I had no idea how legendary of a move seat was. You know what I mean? Like 0.003% chance is unbelievable, but it is what it is, man. So I
Well,
wish
let's
with the
get back
time.
to our original conversation. We need a ripping runner in OTC markets so that we can get back to Monday through Friday trading and a little bit less headache. I mean, yes, headache comes with trading, but everybody that's experienced the crypto craze now wants to come back to the OTC markets, and they're not finding the volume, they're not finding the liquidity, they're not finding a stock that can have a sustainable run, which is what we were talking about. They're finding stocks that make short pops, and
Yeah.
I may be able to single-handedly. Well, let me restate that. I may be able to strongly bring a ripping, running OTC stock that we can all get behind. And we have a podcast coming up on the 23rd with what I believe that company will be.
Listen, I'm all for it. Let's freaking
Share
do it.
structure. I mean, what do you need for something like that, right? You need share structure. You need eyes on it, and you need excitement to come out of it, and you need celebrity connections, and you need no debt, no conversions happening. Um, what else do you need for the formula for something like that to happen?
Unless that celebrity is Manny Pacquiao. Okay. If the celebrity's Manny Pacquiao, forget it. It's game over
Yeah,
for you because that guy he doesn't know how to pump. You
no,
know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao is off the list. Say another celebrity, sure. But Manny Pacquiao? No, sir.
yeah. I'm thinking more like okay, we've music celebrities, rap celebrities, country celebrities. I can't. I'm not going to put names out yet. I definitely know what I'm talking about, but there's a surprise guest that we're going to have, and this is a Friday at 6 o'clock. Now, I wouldn't normally ever think that it's a reasonable thing to have a show at that time, but we're going to have a show on the 23rd at 6 o'clock because there's a surprise guest. I know NBCO has talked about making an acquisition, and I think that this surprise guest really is going to surprise people. And what we're going to be talking about is going to be connected to quite a few exciting celebrity figures, and I believe is going to produce enough exciting news over the course of time that we could potentially have that OTC runner that everybody's been looking for and be able to get behind it because there's not like the stock structure is just nice, man.
Boy, I'd
If you
love
have,
that. As long as it's not Jake Notch,
no, I don't even know who that is.
the song guy.
No,
Yeah. Right, Cheeto?
think like more like Fleetwood Mac.
Jake is not your friend anymore?
Listen, I enjoyed the chat with Jake, but I
Yeah.
sure didn't enjoy how he treated shareholders, I'll tell you that. And the
Well,
funny part is I couldn't even buy it. I was just doing it because I just thought it was a good runner, and then it
Yeah,
was
but
a good runner, and then I mean, the
at
dumping was
that time, it
shocking.
was great. It was one of the best moves
Yeah.
in the last 12 months. It was really great. I mean, obviously, as always, you cannot miss when you should get off the wagon, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to be in it. I probably would have been a great trade, but boy, I mean, that guy went off the rails, man.
Yeah.
So this ASII has been a great move.
Pull up the chart. What's going on?
Yeah, let's do it. Here, let me get my screen together here.
Clear 10 bagger in 2 weeks.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Really?
Yeah.
2 weeks in sustained run.
Yep.
All right.
In total silence almost. Like it's been crazy.
Like you haven't seen anything on social media at all talking
No,
about it?
they put out news and they did everything right. I got to say they did everything right. I picked it up the other day, trip 7, which was late, I thought. And okay.
Let's look at where it is now.
It says OTCmarkets.com can't be reached. Come on.
Are you serious?
No, I got it now. God, these guys.
Okay.
And what about this SEC lawsuit that OTC Markets went through, Shido? What did you think about that?
I don't have too many insights. Is this OTC Link? Is it them? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious because they I mean, many said that they should put themselves on CE and that's not even false, if you have something like this.
Yeah. Let me see if
But
I
think
can
they would
find
do that
that.
to
We gotta look at this
themselves, though?
article
I mean,
first. You won't believe
seriously.
this. This is wild. See if I can find it. Holy crapola. There we go. And then I'll do a screen share here so you can see it, because it's pretty wild. Oh. Here it is. All right. Where is it? Okay, I see. Learning the technology, man. Here. Is that it? Yeah.
1 second, guys, and there we go.
There it is. SEC charges OTC Link LLC with failing to file suspicious activity reports. Finds that from March 20th through May 2023, OTC Link failed to adopt or implement reasonably designed anti-money laundering policies and procedures to surveil transactions. As a result, OTC Link did not file a single suspicious activity report over this period. So, wow.
Well, it's not surprising. Of course they haven't. I wonder if they're involved.
Yeah. There it is.
So is OTC Market actually a stock as well?
Yeah.
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 What's the symbol? OTCM?
Yeah.
It is
Here it is here.
OTCM.
Getting cooked. Getting really cooked.
So I guess shareholders didn't like that. They've been making a great run over the past. Look at that.
Yeah, nonstop up. Been a good run. If you want to hold it for a decade for a 4-bagger, then there it is.
So right there in 2020, where they took a big dip.
Yeah.
Is that really a decade?
Yeah,
Chart?
yeah, it is.
I thought it's like 12 months chart or
No,
18.
that's a decade.
We need to get them on the show.
Oh yeah. Maybe they will, but yeah, OTC Link. There it is, the interdealer quotation system. They failed to file any suspicious activity reports. So
Now, is that on the trading of their stock or trading on their platform?
their platform.
On the platform, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been plenty of suspicious trading. We've all seen that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole scene. Anyway, so ASII been a great move though. Not this one. Really impressive. Right out of a cannon. The reason I liked it the other day, like I said, was because it lacked a lot of resistance, and that's really the mistake that people make sometimes with trying to run the same old trip over and over again. Is you get loaded with resistance where people are just trying to get out even. This thing just fell out of the sky back in 2021 after the split. And so this is all just pretty much uncharted territory, which is really nice. And it's been a great trade so far. They're looking to... now, this was nice pumpy news too today. I had to give it to them. They said they initiated the process of uplisting to the QB. And you know that to uplist to the QB, you have to be over a penny. And so they said, we have no intention of performing a reverse split. So they're saying,
That's
Quite
a
a
big
few.
run.
Yeah, quite a few companies pull that stunt lately. More
yeah,
and
it's
more.
pretty slick. Yeah.
Uh,
I'll give them credit for that. Like, I mean, will it get there? I don't know, but it sure sounds nice.
yeah.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, and people then start, look, the company thinks it should be at 1 cent,
Right.
I mean, obviously it doesn't mean that, but the company doesn't think anything. I mean, they just put it out there because it's a good pump material, but
Yeah.
but that's perfect. Yeah, that's
No,
how
it's
it should
holding up
be.
well. I mean, you kind of got a new level there, or the break. There we go. That break, 14, the new stop, or you could use just an anchored volume weighted average price down to 11. Their average right now since the beginning of the run is 11, double 11. So maybe it dips a bit, but so far it's been phenomenal.
Yeah, and they are already alluding to more acquisitions to get to QB and stuff. So there will be catalysts over and over. It's good. They do it well.
No,
Really
they do.
good.
So here's your advancers list today. So we've sorted it by all. The dollar volume column is here. This is the column here. So let's go through it, shall we?
Let's do it.
I don't know what this is. Oh, it's only $7,000 though, so pretty tough. Tough one there. $1,800.
FRCB. I think
ABQQ's been on the move.
FRCB is like the first one with a bunch of trades. But when you
Which
see
one?
the double black diamonds, what's that?
It's a gray market.
Gray.
It's on the gray market.
So you can't. Is it difficult or impossible to buy or sell through regular?
It's not quoted.
You cannot buy in the US. You can buy in Canada, but not in the US.
Ah, okay. All right. Just making sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so you can buy on the great market if you're in Canada. If you're in the US, brokers won't allow you to. Which is so strange to me. So ABQQ's been back on the move lately. We'll take a look there. KRBP, I thought this was interesting news, and it's not a bad setup, so we'll take a look at it. Not sure what's happening with Loop TV. We'll take a peek. BVNKF, I don't even know what that is. So we'll look at that.
$39 a share. It's not,
I mean, it's good money. I don't know if I'd want to dive in on it. It might have been acquired and it just shot to that price, so we'll take a look. PPCB with a record-breaking reverse split.
Why, they went up on a reverse split?
No, they filed for it. What is it, 1 to 1,000, Shido? It's shocking.
Yeah, I think so. But did you see VIRA today?
No, I didn't see. Let's take a look.
It's a pretty good setup on the float. That's a record breaking. It's 1 to 7,500.
Right there.
Wow.
They have it in the filing. It's in the filing on the subsequent events from today.
Good golly.
That's pretty big.
AHRO's popping back up.
Yeah. AHRO, Shido.
Yeah, that one is nice. I liked that for a while, as you guys know, and he is putting a lot of good effort into it. He's doing a lot of good stuff, kind of like the ASII guys.
BRBB.
Okay, I got most of them tabbed out here. Tough volume. It's just summer, though.
Yeah, it is summer. GBSI.
Yeah, it is quiet for sure, but
very quiet.
And what is that? DYNT? Go back up. No,
$900.
Oh, Ron. Ron popped up with.
Yeah, Ron bounced a bit.
Okay.
There it is.
HADV. That's what I was looking at. It's up above where you were.
Yeah, this is pretty ugly. Take a look. Ron with a bounce.
Ron.
Okay, let's take a peek here, shall we?
Yeah, let's peek.
Chemicals, nice move today. No idea what's going on there. Not available. It's Australian, which sucks. 0.02, a 2 cent to $14 spread. I'm
Ouch.
going to pass on that.
Yeah.
ABQQ back on the move. Can this
Chip
recover
7.
at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, the reason is that one tweet alluded to the fact that they might not do the reverse split. That's why it's getting traction.
Okay. KRBP, this was interesting news. They got FDA fast track designation for their cancer drug.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, so they get priority review. They have had some success with their clinical trials and have seen, tumor size reductions, 20%. It's kind of a cool thing. I thought it was going to do a lot better when they were curing people's cancer or reducing the tumor size at the start of the year, and it made an original decent move, and then it's just been frozen in time ever since. Low volume today, but if you were to kind of put a stop there at 150 and see if they finally moon this thing, it'd be fine. Only issue is you might be waiting another year, which has really been the way it's been going right now. So that's that.
Next.
LPTV. I don't know what's going on with these guys.
50% move on an 8-cent stock range.
Oh, they're delisted. So this is the delist bounce. Yeah, it got delisted here. And so there may not be a lot of meat on the bone.
Look at since December, man. That's a lot of drop.
Yeah. So there's where it got delisted, and now it's bounced a little bit. People snagged the dip, I guess, and I guess you'd just be back on track for this. So, and now it's on an illiquid market. Tough one.
Yikes.
Bavarian Nordic is right. This is a monkeypox play. They
really?
This is the company with the vaccine. Like they're the main maker of the monkeypox vaccine, and this is their ADR. So. And when monkeypox was really getting lit up there, you kind of remember, summer 2022. It was it made an okay move, not much. So
what's the reason you think that all of a sudden it's getting on fire?
Well, the World Health Organization has officially declared monkeypox an emergency now.
People are actually listening to the WHO after everything that happened with COVID.
I'm not. I mean, and this is the problem, because, people don't trust anything now after all the lying they did during COVID.
Yeah.
Governments and everything. PPCB, a monstrous split on the books, absolutely humongous.
How is it going up right now?
Again. So this one is between 1 to 10,000 and 1 to 100,000.
So they haven't announced exactly what it'll be between there.
It'll be somewhere in there. So,
that's a nice range. What do you think?
I mean, one way or another, you're fricked if you're holding it. So it's all the same to me.
Stock structure and see what they have outstanding and stuff like that right now.
Well, this is just out of interest, though. So this is one of the worst offenders on the market. So split in 2017, split in 2019, split in 2020, split in 2023, and now another one on the books for another massive split.
Let's keep this in mind. Right now, they're discussing putting rules. They're going to crack down on people that have been infamous with reverse splits.
Well, get on with it.
Some serious lashback on companies that are doing that. So maybe they're trying to get one last reverse done before the ruling's hit.
I
I
don't
think they're
know.
going to change.
I don't know.
Change the rules on
These
it.
guys are criminal.
Yeah. So what's their
Criminal.
share structure look like?
It's good. It's okay. I mean, but
What do they do in reverse for?
exactly. Well, why did they do it every, two, not even 2 years sometimes?
Jeez.
They just dump it to zero and split. They're like RNVA.
Investors beware.
Look at this. I mean, it's
Ouch.
just awful. Awful.
So just to pause on this for a brief second, if you're a trader or investor and you're seeing a chart like this and they announce a reverse split, please don't buy the stock.
Yeah. It's nasty.
But what's next?
Okay. GRTX. Is this the delister? I'm guessing it might be. Maybe not. Liquidation and dissolution. So
they're going private?
they're gonna dissolve the company, file a certificate of dissolution.
So why is the stock climbing?
Well, these are the mysteries, aren't they?
Yeah.
Let's see. Was it a good climb though? Because you can't just Yeah.
No, it's just dead cat bounce.
Just a dead cat. So October, if you're holding that, you're shit out of luck.
So this brings up a point. Like if you're a new trader and you're going and seeing a stock pop, a nice percentage gain on the day, you've got to do more due diligence. Like in the case of GRTX, I mean, this dead cat bounce, the stock chart looks horrific. The company is actually dissolving and liquidating. And if you're a new trader and you see their gain and you're like, I'm going to ride this for the day, there's a great chance you're going to be stuck holding the bag and then have zero to show for it because the stock will completely disappear eventually.
Yeah. I mean, this is just cooked. Just cooked. That's that. AHRO, our guys still trying to make something happen there.
21%. That doesn't look. Yeah. Have they been doing any dilution at all? They got a bunch of convertible or.
Very little in the last few months. Some, but not extreme. They have done more in the past, but the thing is, the guy is putting in a lot of effort, and the business is kind of booming. I mean, we will see in the next few quarters how it is in regards to numbers, but they have a lot going lately. I was fortunate enough that I was able to buy on the expert when they were so late with the filing, because I mean we knew that it was very likely that he will come back. So that was fortunate that I was like buying trip 3 and trip 4s, so that's looking good now. But
Yeah.
obviously others, I mean, it's not fair to US guys because they couldn't.
It's very unfair. I don't know why.
Granted,
It's like that. I don't know why brokers stick their nose in the business of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Good
it's
question.
really bad.
had these been a bit of a nasty thing historically, nothing I could see in terms of news or anything like that.
Has been getting hammered lately on dilution.
Yeah,
I've been following this one closely. Yeah, hammered. I mean, in relatively, it's a great setup, but it's kind of like the SINC.
Yes.
If you get hammered like this, it doesn't matter. You can have the best setup there is. If they don't want to wait like 3 weeks to dump a gazillion shares, it's just impossible to hold up for the stock for the time being.
Yeah.
It's too bad. But sometimes, obviously, it's a good chance. I mean, this one has less than 100 million floating right now, close to trips,
Yeah.
They have that tight of a float, and they're down here.
You know, the
Yeah.
only thing that is always so difficult, and you probably agree, Pat, is you have no idea when they stop. You know, if you knew that it's the last like
Well, you don't know who's selling. I
50
mean, if you
million,
knew who was selling and what their position was, there's a great chance of
yeah.
timing that based on the
Yeah.
volume.
So you can make the case that it's that even if they dilute right now, it's still really cheap on the valuation side, on the float side. But what if they don't stop? You know, it will quickly be mid trips if they don't stop, and then you are back, and that's
Right.
why the dilution stuff is so tough to trade, in my
Well,
opinion.
and then the tough part is if they go this direction, and then and then they do stop, because they're always doing this. Will there be anyone there to buy it up when they do? And this is the problem,
That's the
nowadays.
next problem, that there is so many. At some point, there is way too many cheap shares available for everybody.
Yeah.
As was the case, for example, with SINC all the way down,
Yes.
because it just didn't stop. So everybody could have bought top sixes, which was
Yeah.
super cheap at that time. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, who else wants to buy then?
Not many.
No.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
That's
hold on
the
a
problem.
second. Alex Sunderland just asked to speak, so I want to give him a chance to see what he has
Sure.
to say. What's up, Sunnyland? Can you guys hear him?
No.
No, not yet.
No, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Why can't I hear you in spaces though? Weird. Go ahead. Yeah, I agree. It's a hell of an opportunity. Yeah. That's PMAT. PMET. The one that he's publicly announced, not the secondary vein. Oh wow. Why don't I do this, man? Because I think they're having a hard. They can't hear you, but I can. So what I'm going to do is send you a link to briefly get on and talk about this. Would that be okay? Um, Space is just for people to ask the questions. I don't need knowing. Yeah, here's a link, and by all means, just come on and join us in the show for a brief second and talk about what you're saying. Link, share. Here you go, link, send. All right, I just sent you a link so you can join us and talk about it and actually be seen and heard, which makes a big difference. Because Kiko, you couldn't hear him, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So you guys were just quiet because you knew I was listening to him?
I was just letting you guys go at it. I'm assuming that the viewer can hear it, so I'm chilling.
I'm hoping so. I mean, if you guys don't have spaces open, you're not going to hear him as well.
No, I didn't
guess.
want the double chatter, you know what I mean, just in case.
Yeah. So he's hopping off spaces. We wanted to talk briefly about what was going on. Mr. All right, should be joining now. I take it, Kiko, you know Alex, right?
Who?
Alex Sunderland?
Yeah,
Sunnyland?
many years now.
There we go. And let's get him on. There we go.
Oh,
There he is.
what up, guys?
What's up,
How's it
Alex?
How y'all doing?
Great,
Good,
man.
good.
I got to do it from my phone because y'all don't want to be in my house. It's loud as hell with all these kids.
It's all right.
I know what that's like, man.
Yeah. So JRC, the crowd, nothing hurt. Didn't hear anything I said, probably.
Repeat
crowd
it. Just pretend they didn't and go ahead and go through it real quick. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Number one, guys, I was just saying thanks for having BRGC on, and I was going to kind of interpret one of the questions you guys asked a little bit better as to why I am here on BRGC, why I'm committed, why we view it as that rare OTC investment, similar to what we do with like SDRC and stuff, is I was telling JRC about, you really want to figure out the value of BRGC long term. You look at PMET, PMET, okay? It is a lithium pegmatite project in Canada, okay? But really in the backwoods of Canada, in the middle of nowhere, really bad infrastructure, okay? If you were listening to the Mac interview and James, they described how BRGC's lithium pegmatite deposit is 2 miles long and 200 feet wide, right? To give you guys an idea, PMET's lithium pegmatite deposit is 2.2 miles long and 213 feet wide. Okay, very similar.
Yeah.
The only thing that is different that PMET has figured out already that BRGC has not is they have figured out the exact grade of the lithium, so the percentage that exists, which that is what BRGC will figure out when they drill. Okay, so to give you an idea of value on that, when BRGC drills and if they get similar results to PMET, okay, valuation wise, PMET has traded well over $1 billion market cap, and they're still maintaining a $600 million market cap. And that's after lithium has taken a massive dump. So there's tremendous potential there. And the difference I was telling JRC about too is with PMET, you have a very similar deposit, but you're in the middle of nowhere. The exploration
Cost more
team
for
of
extraction,
PMET,
delivery.
yeah, I know for a fact the everybody at PMET, you have to take a helicopter to get on site. So BRGC, you drive in a Jeep right up there. It has major freeways right next to it. It's right outside of Phoenix with all the battery factories being built. Literally, it's right in the center of these factories being built. So when it comes down to cost and getting this project going, it's going to be so much cheaper, and the profits will be so much more than a PMET. And, you know, the question I always get is, well, is PMET producing? Is that why their market cap is so high? No, PMET is not producing. They're not making money. They're just like BRGC. They're the same stage of trying to figure out their deposit, and they've achieved those market valuations. So it's just something to think about with BRGC. And to that short that was trying to stir up some trouble in the interview, you're bringing up, you know, I've done my due diligence. I invest millions of dollars in these companies. You know, you're bringing up a case that was dismissed in 2002. Like, I mean, come on, that's some desperate shit. And all you're going to do is motivate me to move my UWMC profits over from this amazing run and slap the hell out of you. That's all you're going to do. So, you know, guys, thanks for having us on. And we're just going to keep, you know, we keep our heads down and just keep making progress. That's what we do. We try to ignore the crowds, and we just, you know, keep punching forward, man, making progress.
Talk to me later after this, because I have a perfect company for him to connect with. I mean, they have, you know, okay, Tesla has a battery wall.
Mm-hmm.
They sell it, comes to the cars, everything. This company rivals the battery wall. They have shorter recharge time, longer lifespan, and it puts out more. I forget what the terms for batteries are, but puts out more mAh or whatever it is. And they're a NASDAQ company that right now is having a tough time on their price per share, but their batteries are amazing, man. They've got connections with big, huge RV. They did off-grid batteries for a long time.
Okay.
And now they're doing it for like RVs. They've been branching out, and the guys that run it are really good.
Good shit, man.
So I'll put you in touch with them directly, man, because I think they're in the area anyways. Pretty sure they're between California and Arizona, so it might be a perfect situation.
Yeah, I'll bring it up to Matt, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, we're just gonna keep doing our thing like we do on all our projects, and just keep making progress, man. Slow and steady the right way that's what we try and do.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thanks for having us on, and yeah, I won't take up any more of your time. You guys do your thing.
Hey man, thanks for joining us. We definitely appreciate it, man. And good luck with all the kids. I know I need some too.
Yeah, man. Good luck. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chico. Thank you, Cheeto.
Nice to see you, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, you too, man. Good to see you.
There we have it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get out of the CEO, but he didn't want to give any forward-looking statements, which I understand. But if you're talking about expectations, you can give case studies. I mean, I'm not saying, hey, we have a 200-foot wide, 2-mile long vein. We're looking at getting, a few $1 billion out of this, because that would be a little misleading. But if you can look at a previous like PMET and show, hey, this is what they're doing. Here's the evaluation they got. Here's potentially where the stock would go. I mean, that's a long ways away from where BRGC is trading at the present moment. So there's potentially a substantial gain ahead.
Guess we'll see. I mean, it sure sounds exciting.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
I'm always listening. If Sunny talks on mining stuff,
Yeah,
I have
he
no
knows
clue
his
about
stuff.
that stuff, so I will listen.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
All right, guys. Well, I'm on vacation here in Orlando, Florida. Got a little bit of sun. Got kids at the pool. I've kicked out of the apartment slash hotel room so I can do the podcast. So I know they're going to come knocking it any minute.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your vacation.
You're in Orlando. You visit
Yeah.
Kissimmee.
Yep, I'm right down the street from Kissimmee.
I was a lot there. I was quite a few times there. Kissimmee. It's
We're
nice.
going to eat there in Kissimmee tonight.
Perfect.
You guys got to come
All
down,
right.
man, Pat. You got to come down and bring the kids.
To Orlando?
Why not?
Oh my gosh.
I live up in Syracuse. I live close to Canada. I drove all the way down here.
That's true. I'm on like polar, like I'm above Montana.
Oh, I have Montana plates on my car, so I.
Well, there you go. Yeah, like I'm north of Montana, so it's a bit different, but one of these days I'd love to get down there.
Well, we got to work it out, man. I mean, look, people see us
Yeah.
on a show all the time together. It'd be great if we all three got in one spot and did a show. We have to orchestrate that, though, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Okay.
All right,
Have a
man.
good
Have a
one.
blessed day. Thanks for joining us on JRC Stock Talk. Please follow us on YouTube. Make sure you like and share our videos. Eventually, we'll get enough exposure where we really can, as a community, affect how some of these OTC market plays run. We're looking to get behind them and see sustainable runs that we all can have fun with the proper due diligence to back it up, the proper meat on the bone, proper share structure. I mean, ultimately, if you guys have questions on how to do this due diligence research, man, ask Shido, ask Kiko Stocks, DM us, connect with us on X. I mean, that's what we're here for. It's all about you guys, man. So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next time, which right now is going to be the 23rd at 6 p.m. with MVCO's CEO Ryan Shadle and a surprise mystery guest. You don't want to miss it.
All right, I'm ready.
Summer is soon over, guys, and then you know what it is. OTC gonna be a comeback.
Time for runners, man. Yep.
See you guys.
Fingers crossed.